the intense levels of conflict that we see on all levels of human civilization, because we're taught in our official education systems we are just machines made of matter. That's what we really are. And not only that, we're machines made of matter in competition with each other for survival. This is the Darwinian theory of evolution, which is taught in all the official education systems all over the world. And it's not just a scientific theory. It's a theory that's meant to keep people focused on material production and consumption. And that generates a lot of wealth that flows into the pockets of different people. It flows into the pockets of, say, scientists who are inventing weapons of mass destruction, consumer products, all kinds of pharmaceuticals, and things like that. The money flows into the pockets of the corporations that build the weapons, manufacture the pharmaceuticals and consumer products. It flows into the pockets of the governments that are taxing all this economic activity. Yeah. And we ourselves are also complicit in this.
Of course.
Because we're buying the stuff, we're working in the factories that are producing it.
We're allowing it to happen that way.
It's whole. We're all kind of tied up in this.
Yeah.
But therefore, we have to pay the price for it. We have to pay the price for it in terms of the being caught up in all these competitive things, like the huge financial crisis that the world's undergoing right now. Well, what's the result? What's the cause of that? Well, it's that everybody is out competing for as much control and domination of material resources that they can do, and some of them are winning and some of them are losing, and in that conflict, some people are going to suffer. There are people who, because of their greed and influence and power, are going to try to suck more out of the system than they're actually due. And those who are in the position of not being able to resist that are going to suffer for it. But they're also going to fight back, and therefore you get all these struggles between nations, among individuals, among different classes in societies, the bankers and the financiers and the workers and the common people and the governments and the people it's just a system that has built into it environmental destruction and conflict.
And
whether it's
and I guess, Mike, what you're saying as well is that this competition-based system is because of the current Yuga cycle, the quality of the period of time that we're in. This is, in one way, are you saying that this is meant to be like this as well? Is this for a reason?
Well, it in one sense, it is meant to be like that, in the sense that every year the seasons change. And as you go into winter, it's colder weather is going to come. But that doesn't mean you have to get cold and die. It means you can keep yourself warm. You can arrange to keep other people warm. You can find a way to survive, even if the climatic conditions are getting a little bit worse. But what's happened is that we've increased the danger to human civilization by our own actions. For example, if we had in our public education systems the idea that, okay, we're not just machines made of matter in competition with each other for survival, but we're all beings of pure consciousness who have all come from the same source. We're all related to each other. We're all part of the same spiritual family. Then this would have the effect of lessening the very intense levels of conflict that we see in the world today, which are based on seeing ourselves different as different. Yeah, I'm this religion, you're that religion, you're this nationality, I'm this nationality, you're this class, I'm this class. It's it's all that comes from the kinds of ideas that are being promoted in our education systems. It is also partly due to the age that these things go on, but it can be resisted. Just like I said, if it's going to rain, doesn't mean you have to get wet.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to rain, but you can protect yourself. You can organize things in such a way as to reduce the bad effects. But we're not doing that.
No.
We're just making things worse. And a lot of it starts with our sense of identity. For example, if I think I'm an American man, I'm going to behave like an American man in competition with others. If I think I'm a being of pure consciousness, we're all beings of pure consciousness. We're all coming from the same source. I'm not going to be in that competitive mood. I'm going to be in a more cooperative mood, understanding, hey, we're all in this together. We're all from the same source. We're all essentially of the same nature. Let's solve the problem. Let's not just fight for our particular group in competition with other groups, which is the way that society works today. And the reason it's like that is because of the sense of identity that we get, because through the monopoly they have in the education systems in the world today, the materialistic scientists are able to dictate to people the answers to the fundamental questions. Who am I and where did I come from? And basically the answers they're giving are quite materialistic. They're saying, well, you just evolved from chemicals. You're just an evolved ape. You're just a machine made of matter, a survival machine in competition with other survival machines. And that's the way things are. And if people think like that, which many people do, then that's going to influence the goals that you're going to set for yourself individually, and it's going to affect the goals that societies will set for themselves individually. And that's what you get is the world you see today. The environmental destruction, the wars, the economic crises. Now, fortunately, there are some people who are resisting these things, who don't want to get caught up in this game of competition and domination, exploitation and control, who are more in favor of saying, yeah, we're all in this together. We need to cooperate with each other. The main purpose of life isn't to produce and consume as much material things as possible. We should be developing the resource of consciousness, putting less of our energy into simply producing and consuming more and more material things. So the more people that feel like that, the better this world is going to be, even though the age, in terms of the cycle of ages is
a
leading
dark one, or an iron age, basically, that we're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to, even if the tendency is like that, you can still do things to lessen the effects of the age. Just like I said, if winter's coming on, yes, it's going to get cold. You can't stop it from getting cold, but you can protect yourself. You can protect others, by using your resources in the proper way. You can make things easier for yourself. You can survive the winter, and then the spring will come.
How long is one age or one year?